Welcome to Monday, December 16th, 2024, your Day Weather Podcast, brought to you by Converse County Tourism. Douglas and Glen Rock, Wyoming are bustling with action this holiday season. Plan your excursion now, including fun activities, beautiful downtowns, and historic treasures. Learn more at conversecountytourism.com. Well, we had a beautiful big full moon here recently, and we've got lots of great photos to show you, like that one right there. What we're going to be looking at is another Pacific wave quickly moving through the area later today, tonight, and tomorrow. These Pacific waves will produce more windy areas. We're going to see another round of high country snow tonight and Tuesday in the northern and central Rockies, especially northern Rockies. With these Pacific waves, you're going to be warmer one day, colder the next, and very windy in between. So this Pacific wave train is going to continue here through tomorrow and into early Wednesday. Then between Thursday and Saturday, a western high-pressure ridge builds back over the region again. However, it does not look like it's going to get maintained, and we'll see a wave push into the northern Rockies on Sunday. Then we're going to see a new Pacific wave train get started late this weekend through Christmas week and into New Year's week. Basically, the wave train meaning there will be a high frequency of quick-moving Pacific waves across the western United States. This is a pattern that will really make it snow off and on in the mountains of the west quite a bit over that period of time from late this weekend through New Year's and into that New Year's week, and cause some unsettled weather on the plains as well. So the weather pattern beginning Sunday into Christmas week is going to get more active, really coast to coast. So we'll have plenty of weather to talk about. Here's some beautiful photos of the moon. Here's a great shot out of New Mexico. Boy, that moon was big and bright this weekend, and will be showing itself here for a little bit longer. That's not the sun, that's the moon, as we're seeing all across the western United States. Really a good opportunity to check it out this weekend. Someone needs to explain the bike on top of the Purina building there. Great shot out of Lander. And then the Geminid meteor shower is going on right now. And here's a fabulous shot from Jan Curtis of a long exposure. And you can see the star trails right here as these star trails move of picking up the meteors even in that bright moon. You could see them, but that moon really made it hard. The Geminid meteor shower happens every year, and this time are in December, and is one of the better meteor showers, but this year getting interrupted a bit by that full moon. Lots of lenticular clouds again this weekend. I know a lot of you buffeted by some very high winds, and that is something when you get into these Pacific wave trains is you do have episodes of high wind events, and this is something we'll be struggling with here at times today and into tomorrow and Wednesday. But the pattern does give you beautiful vistas like this. Here's some great lenticulars over the Bighorn Mountains and a beautiful shot near the Green Mountain Reservoir area near Kremling of ice on the reservoir and some snow on the mountains. In fact, we saw that. The high country this weekend picking up some snow, but these Pacific wave trains, once you get to the Continental Divide, will make it snow in the major mountain ranges. But you get east of the divide, you get into a downsloping situation, and the Pacific winds get the mountains white, but skip over the plains. And that's basically what we're going to see with this next wave coming in tonight and tomorrow. And then the Pacific wave train that we talked about is really showing up here very well when you look at the satellite image that encompasses a large part of the Pacific and into western North America here. Here's the next wave coming into the Pacific coast. Here's another wave. Here's another wave back here. They're all lined up with increasing strong and very energetic and very moist jet stream winds going across the North Pacific. We always talk about those strong jet stream winds when they begin to develop across the North Pacific. It is a signal of a larger change in the weather pattern that's coming. Not immediately, but it evolves. And that's what's going to happen. So if you look at the U.S., we've got this gap that'll be overhead right today. We have some unsettled weather across the eastern half of the nation. Then the Pacific Northwest will be seeing these systems come on in. So here's the wave that came through over the weekend, bringing the mountain snow and the high winds on the plains. Here's the next wave that comes in late tonight and tomorrow very quickly, and another wave in behind it. generally a west to east flow across the nation. So that's going to mean more moderate temperatures across the U.S., not as cold in the east. So this is today. Tomorrow, there's that next wave coming through. There's a good chunk of moisture with this wave. So there is going to be significant snow in the higher mountain ranges in this oval right here as it comes on through, especially Wyoming, Montana, and the Idaho mountains as that wave comes on by. This wave will also make it very windy on the south end of it, so we'll be dealing with strong winds again along the I-25 and I-80 corridor areas again. And here between now and late this afternoon and evening, here are the strong wind gusts. You can see very strong winds there in the Pacific Northwest coming off the coast, and then strong winds in the wind-prone areas here. Precipitation between now and Wednesday morning looks like this. A common graphic here that you see in this type of pattern. Heavy moisture along and west of the Cascades. The Cascades and the mountains along the coast take away a lot of the moisture, and you have less as you go east. But there's going to be a good enough amount of moisture that we'll see some significant snow again in Wyoming's western mountains. The mountains here, the bighorns will pick up a little bit more. But out on the plains, you can see the amounts get much, much lighter as the downsloping winds take place. So this takes us through Wednesday, and this will be another skier's front where the ski areas get some nice snow in Montana, Wyoming, and Idaho in the Pacific Northwest. Maybe a little bit into the mountains in northern Colorado, but not as much. Then here's that ridge we talked about. As we get into Friday, there's going to be a ridge building across the west, but unlike what has been happening over the last few weeks where the high pressure ridge becomes what seems to be semi-permanent, it's not going to be able to last because it's going to get attacked by these very strong energetic winds, and it won't have an opportunity to maintain itself. But from Friday through Saturday into early Sunday, this high pressure ridge will bring a mild, less windy, dry stretch of weather. So if you'll be traveling, let's say between Thursday and Saturday in the west, this high pressure ridge will help you out. But it's going to be temporary because it will get cut off. It gets attacked by this first wave coming in through Sunday. The Sunday wave coming off the Pacific coast is essentially the wave that's the beginning of the end of this ridge. This wave will probably produce rain and snow in this area here during the day Sunday. So that'll be something for travelers to keep an eye on if you're going to be across Montana, northern Wyoming, into the Dakotas, the Pacific Northwest. This will be a bit of a weather maker if you have travels this weekend, mainly on Sunday. It comes in, attacks the ridge, and then look at the gradient. See how tightly packed the black lines are here in the Pacific. Very strong, cold, moist Pacific jet stream winds are cranking up here and headed towards the coast. That will extinguish the ridge, and then we'll start to see the Pacific wave train come on in. So this is actually late Christmas Eve towards Christmas morning. We're going to have a Pacific front, a pretty strong one, come into the west, and it will quickly move east as we get into Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after Christmas. And then the strong gradient is going to come on in, and we'll just start producing one wave after another after Christmas and into the New Year's week. So this will be causing some travel concerns, this pattern change, but whether or not it's going to be a white Christmas or not in your area, too early to tell. But we'll be talking about that as we go through the days ahead. Have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.